The end game of Ultra Instinct is one of the most highly anticipated parts of Goku's journey in Dragon Ball Super. Akira Toriyama's plans for Ultra Instinct may shock the world when we eventually get to that point in the story. Of course, Toyotaro is the main man drawing and implementing ideas into the manga on the go, but Toriyama's notes for Dragon Ball Super are no doubt the core of Super's story. And I believe he's got many more left over, because now we are going to look at the official information in the Dragon Ball Super manga itself to dissect what Goku is aiming for with his Ultra Instinct exactly. Now, can Ultra Instinct be mastered by those of the Saiyan race? It's not just for Saiyans, as we all know. Now, despite what some believe, MUI, or Mastered Ultra Instinct, isn't truly mastered. Sure, the activation of the form, even in the Tournament of Power, can be classed as complete, but it wasn't even mastered overall at the start of the Granola arc due to there being a number of flaws still with it, such as accuracy and stamina, even if Goku could activate it at will. You could say after the Moro battle, Goku had mastered the activation of Ultra Instinct, but not the form itself. Similar to Goku becoming Super Saiyan on Namek, he quickly mastered how to become Super Saiyan, but it wasn't until the Time Chamber where he mastered the usage of the form. So yes, a Saiyan can master Ultra Instinct entirely, but the real question is, what type of Ultra Instinct? Even though nothing has been confirmed yet, I'm going to explain the official lore we've got, along with my theory on why I believe this is going to happen this way. I'm 99% sure this is it, and I know you'll love this, scholars, so be sure to hear me out all the way through. Like I said, I know you'll love this. As we all know, during the events of Granola, in the end phase of that arc, right before Goku went into true Ultra Instinct, Goku admitted his struggle with Ultra Instinct in general whilst talking to Whis. In this conversation, heading to Manito's house, Whis made interesting points about Goku using Ultra Instinct, despite the fact he executed the Silver UI very well against Moro. Goku wasn't going to get much further with Ultra Instinct after the Granola battle, unless he went down a very specific path, a very unique path that is different from the one he's been trying to mimic from Whis' Ultra Instinct, that being completely tranquil in the base form. You see, it's impossible for Goku to master Ultra Instinct properly if he continues to use it in the way that Whis does. Despite Goku training at the start of the Granola arc and trying to utilize UI in his base form and other Super Saiyan forms, Goku still showcased a problem with trying to do that, and even Vegeta told Goku that he's overdoing it trying to use UI in his base form when he could keep it simple and just become Super Saiyan 1 to dodge. Case in point, Goku using UI not as a transformation but in general is a struggle, and Goku even admits to Whis later on that he's still having a lot of trouble with UI and the results of his earlier training methods, that he cannot keep his heart calm the way Whis does during Ultra Instinct. Whis makes it clear he's a different life form to Goku, and in order to make his UI better, he needs to stop trying to mimic Whis' unique style and instead listen to the voice within himself to create his own Ultra Instinct, his unique one, by asking himself an important question. Deep down, what are you really? Goku questions himself with, what am I? This immediately cuts to Manito in the next panel shouting, hey, son of Bardock, which is a conveniently timed bit of dialogue to shake Goku out of his thought process about who he is deep down. Of course it was to continue the story, but it's as if Toyotaro gave a hint about who Goku is deep down. He's the son of Bardock, he's a Saiyan, not a god, not an angel. The voice Whis is talking about deep down, what are you really, a good old-fashioned Saiyan with the training from gods and angels. That's Goku, and that's the difference between him and Whis. And of course the Granola arc is about Bardock as well, and that fire and emotion in his eyes during battle. That's what Gas was prompting Goku on, that he's different to Bardock. Now originally, before Goku traveled down the God path right at the start of Whis' training with Super Saiyan God, Whis said that if Goku and Vegeta trained the old way, they would only get so far, meaning God training was a necessity to raise their game to a new level. Goku continued on that path and fixated on Whis' teachings about Ultra Instinct to get so far, but now to the point he's hit a roadblock unless he takes the wheel of his own training and combine that training of the gods with the past of fighting as a Saiyan. And I personally think that's poetry, because Goku has never lived a life as a Saiyan, but he has to find deep down what that means, as the message to Goku and Vegeta through Bardock Scouter was literally about Saiyan pride. Whilst Ultra Ego Vegeta gives Goku time to come up with how to ascend his Ultra Instinct, Goku was able to push his Ultra Instinct further with true UI, which he clarifies to Gas that in order for UI to work, Goku's heart needs to be calm and tranquil, and the problem Goku was having during this fight with Gas was that his heart was not calm. thus making the Silver UI capped in power, where Ultra Instinct Sign was just the right balance for Goku to use his emotions with it to gain an even larger power than what he could previously do in Silver UI with a calm and tranquil heart. It may seem kind of backwards because the Tournament of Power, Goku appeared to be aiming for a tranquil approach to make UI work better against Jiren. However, in the full context of all arcs so far, with the complete training of UI for Goku, calm heart equals Earthling mode, and more of the martial arts path. True UI proves that Goku's emotions and natural Saiyan battle state, combined with UI, offers a greater result than what he could do against Jiren with a calm heart. It's just that Ultra Instinct Sign is the only state that he can show those emotions to with the most power right now. Goku's way of life is his martial arts, but his instincts and emotions run deeper than that, down to the core and cells of his very being. As Frieza would put it, Earthling or martial artist, he'll always be a monkey. It's important to note that there's an article that centers around Broly. It's officially revealed and expanded on that when a Saiyan's heart is beaten in battle, their Saiyan instincts awaken, and that is how Broly taps into the power of the Great Ape in base, that old school Saiyan power. It said Super Saiyan is rage getting the Saiyan's heart going, and when we saw what Never did to Goku, they showed the heart light in Goku's chest, which is also stated to be officially connected to the Uzaru. The director of the episode, where Goku's new Super Saiyan form is awakened for the first time, mentions the red glow near Goku's heart represents the Uzaru within Goku. It's a supercharged Super Saiyan. The same effect that causes Super Saiyan and even the Saiyan instincts to come out, but 100 times more. Credit to Jordan Lee for their help with gathering that information, but it's very important to consider when thinking about final Ultra Instinct and Goku's own unique version with what he is deep down, and how tranquility and calmness aren't going to generate the strongest results for Kakarot. Yes, I said his Saiyan name. You saw what I did there. So back to the story of Goku. He hit a roadblock whilst talking to Whis during the gas fight because he's not the same being as Whis, who can easily remain tranquil at all times, and pretty much is in a state that suppresses so many emotions most of the time. Yes, he steps in poop and gets excited over ice cream. Whis does have his moments, which I'm saying it's a state that he can naturally be in, but isn't restricted if he really wants. Goku, on the other hand, needs those emotions and fired up heart to get the best out of UI, which is what Whis means by finding his own unique UI. It's not a universal state limited to a calm heart. That's just one possibility. It may work for somebody else, but not a Saiyan. The pride of the Saiyans during battle, Bardock versus Gas, which no doubt had made Bardock's heart anything but calm in that moment to make him come back, and it's the invigorated, stimulated state that Goku is in during Ultra Instinct Sign that brings out better results. But now the question is, what comes next? In the fight with Beast Gohan on Beerus' planet, Goku is using the silver-haired Ultra Instinct, but he's not at his maximum capability, and his restless Saiyan state wasn't present whilst training his son. So in my opinion, I feel like we've yet to see Goku utilize his exhilarating pumping heart state with his Silver UI to its full potential, and I also believe that Beerus thinking that Silver was Goku's highest level against Gohan was due to his lack of knowledge of Goku's own discovery of true UI against Gas, seeing as when Whis turned up after Goku got one shot by Black Frieza, we stated that Beerus can't figure out how to make some food, meaning there's a big chance they missed the entire true Ultra Instinct fight. Here's my theory on what comes next, and I think we've got a massive clue already on what it's going to be. It should be noted that Vegeta mentions Ultra Instinct seems to work best when used in conjunction with Super Saiyan forms. You would think it would be the opposite due to so much going on physically and mentally with the combination of forms and styles with the UI, but apparently the UI state feels more at home when Goku has transformations active. This is an extremely important bit of information that sets up Goku's final Ultra Instinct level in my opinion, because what are the differences between Goku's base form to his transformations outside of power and aesthetics? The difference is his heart is at its calmest in base form, but it's stated in multiple guides that when a Saiyan undergoes transformations, his emotions surge and their heart pumps faster and is stimulated once again in those transformed states, resulting in a Saiyan's power being greater. So when realizing Goku can use his emotions and heart better with UI Sign and be stronger, instead of trying to suppress them in a calm Silver UI, that makes perfect sense why aspects of the Ultra Instinct state work better in conjunction with Goku's Super Saiyan forms. He's been tripping over his own feet this whole time by battling against his own true nature, trying to be extremely calm and focused in states that thrive on being stimulated. So in God and Blue, he was doing well with Ultra Instinct to some extent without knowing why exactly. But now after True UI, Goku finally understood the assignment. Saiyans are an emotional based race, Whis is not. And when Goku fully embraces being a Saiyan, not a divine being, he'll awaken more power. So the question is, what form would Goku be most invigorated in as a Saiyan, and which form in Goku's current arsenal during Dragon Ball Super is the form that is the most Saiyan-like of all? The answer would be Daima's Super Saiyan 4 transformation, because it is linked to Dragon Ball Super as we see the lore of Super in Daima, and I can explain why exactly that is the case, despite Super Saiyan 4 being a weaker transformation than Super Saiyan God and Super Saiyan Blue from what I've seen. What we must realize is, in order to create Super Saiyan God, we need Goku's base form plus Divine Ki control. That creates the Super Saiyan God transformation. So just think of it like ingredients. Super Saiyan Blue is the result of having Divine Ki control plus Super Saiyan 1. Goku currently in Ultra Instinct with a silver hair, he needs base form. Goku needs Divine Ki control because it's still God Ki, plus no other Super Saiyan transformations active, so essentially his base form as the foundation, plus a complete calm and tranquil heart with suppressed emotion, plus instinctual movement perks. That's Silver Ultra Instinct. However, for True Ultra Instinct, which is a stronger version of Saiyan, and currently stronger than Goku's Calm Silver UI, it's essentially, as I said, base form foundation, plus stronger Divine Ki control, plus stimulated heart and high emotional state, plus instinctual movement. When Goku combined Ultra Instinct with Super Saiyan God against Granola, he doesn't combine the raw power of Ultra Instinct's Divine Ki, because he wasn't any stronger than regular Super Saiyan God. He only combined the instinctual movements perk, making Super Saiyan God Ultra Instinct against Granola essentially be base form plus Divine Ki control plus incomplete instinctual movement. As we all know, Super Saiyan God is a Saiyan with Divine Ki control. That's why his hair looks exactly the same as base form. So where does Super Saiyan 4 come into this? Well, again, think of ingredients and think of Super Saiyan Blue. If we switched out Super Saiyan 1 for Super Saiyan 4 in the Super Saiyan Blue mix-up, the transformation of Blue would become a stronger transformation as Goku has increased the Super Saiyan level in that mix by 3 forms, meaning a different outcome to Blue in power. It might not be blue, it might be some other color. Let's think of it as a hypothetical Super Saiyan 4 Blue. So what does this have to do with the invigorated heart of Goku? Well, if a Super Saiyan is a result of Goku's heart becoming more hyper through combat, Super Saiyan 4 is the peak of that excited state of a Saiyan in the raw Ki department. As we know, Super Saiyan God and Blue requires Goku to become calm and tranquil, especially in using Kaioken. This is why he said he's able to do it, because he'd already learned how to get rid of that high as a Super Saiyan by mastering it like a base form in the Cell games. It was all about control and tranquility. Plus, using Ki in a divine way as a Super Saiyan God and Blue would require Goku to be more precise and concentrated in his power rather than be in an excited state with emotions. This is why aesthetically it's tranquil blue, to emphasize that control of oneself and not portrayed like upbeat yellow like regular Super Saiyan forms. Regular Super Saiyan God is that color to emphasize power, but the same principles apply in that it's more about control and excellence with Ki. And as such, with Super Saiyan 4 being the strongest non-God Ki state that Goku has, it's also the most Saiyan-like form in both aesthetic, transformation, and Ki itself. Yes, even more than the Uzaru, because it's all about the Uzaru when he transforms, it's stated. It's in a more humanoid form. This means that when combining God perks to this form, it will automatically result in a stronger variant than Super Saiyan Blue by a large magnitude, and that's without Ultra Instinct. You see, if Super Saiyan 4 is Goku in his most Saiyan state, that being the furthest away from being calm and tranquil, then the only method to enhance Super Saiyan 4 with Ultra Instinct would be to give into his instinctual emotions that he's letting through in True UI against Gas. Think about it, if emotions and the excited heart are the key to creating Goku's own unique version of UI, and are what grants a monstrous boost even without the silver hair active, then what better way than for Goku combining Divine Ki and Ultra Instinct perks to Super Saiyan 4, where Goku would be in his most comfortable state of battle, most natural and emotional state. What we call MUI, which again isn't mastered but more complete, it's a silver transformation for Goku, and perhaps Goku can reach a silver state in a different form, a different way than being calm and tranquil. The silver UI we see now could be the calm and tranquil version, but perhaps there's another that creates a whole new silver variant through combining his emotions and invigorated heart state, making it unique and his own version, that Whis is trying to push Goku to discovering. Remember what we said? What are you deep down, really? Goku is a Saiyan. Nothing is more primal than Super Saiyan 4. Now you may think, well, why doesn't Goku simply combine Super Saiyan Blue with the silver hair transformation? Well, the answer to that is quite simple. Both already use God Ki. UI uses stronger God Ki because it's stronger. Plus, if UI and Super Saiyan Blue UI both use instinctual movements, there's absolutely no difference in the ingredients except for Super Saiyan 1 being active instead of no Super Saiyan form. So at best, we'd have a silver-haired Super Saiyan 1 look. But then why not switch out the Super Saiyan 1 ingredient for the Super Saiyan 4, and you've already become infinitely superior. With a Super Saiyan state most suited to Goku's Saiyan nature, it's simple maths. The best raw Ki Super Saiyan form is 4, because Super Saiyan God is a different pathway. It can act as an entry point to combine the stronger God Ki state to previous forms. Remember, it's stated Goku's UI is used better in conjunction with his transformation, so I believe we'll see God Ki with Super Saiyan 4 first, to make it the strongest it can be without UI, and then the state of UI applied later to mutate it into, you guessed it, a Silver Super Saiyan 4, or simply, Canon Super Saiyan 5. And also I'd like to add that in Dragon Ball AF, Toyotaro's version, he also had been creating his own Silver Super Saiyan 5 transformation to surpass Super Saiyan 4 after GT. That was his debut work, and it's not like he's forgotten his roots of getting into creating manga. What's to say he doesn't want to go full circle and bring elements of his AF into Dragon Ball Super in the future by combining Ultra Instinct perfected into Super Saiyan 4 to create a canon version of Super Saiyan 5. Even if it's not called Super Saiyan 5, it would be it in spirit without a doubt. Think about how poetic that would be for Toyotaro, considering he's leading the charge now for Dragon Ball Super since the passing of Akira Toriyama. And it's a perfect time to aim for that, since Daima has just finished and Super Saiyan 4 is the latest form added to the story of Toriyama. By aiming for that and bringing it into the story now is a perfect time because it's on people's minds. Imagine Goku, Vegeta, Piccolo, Broly and Gohan all fail to take down Black Frieza, but the form that beats Frieza is none other than an actual monkey. I believe that will be Goku's final Ultra Instinct, his own unique version that will complete the Dragon Ball Super training and tie up to End of Z. Not tranquil, calm, elegant like the angels, but the combination of divine power and primal power, where Goku can be a Saiyan self in battle, more than the martial arts earthling route, or maybe combine it all in one, the perfect balance of who he is. Because like I said, he can act like an earthling all he wants, but his blood will always be a Saiyan and his instincts will always follow his Saiyan nature at the core first. And with that being said, I don't even think Goku is going to initially master Ultra Instinct in his base form, like Whis to never finding the need to transform. I think Whis' tranquil base form and us thinking Goku will master it all by the time of End of Z in his base form, I think it's purposely throwing us off, and instead Goku is going to associate his most powerful UI with a transformation after all, because he can never do what Whis can do. That's my prediction. Goku's true mastered Ultra Instinct will be his primal Saiyan nature, the canon Super Saiyan 5. And just think of the marketing. Who wouldn't want to buy Super Saiyan 5 Goku? This is just my Dragon Ball theory. If it doesn't happen, happy days. But if it does happen, very happy days.